A parade of thousands hit the streets of New York City over the weekend. The event marked what is known as the largest peaceful petition ever in communist China. 24 years ago, over 10,000 Falun Gong practitioners visited Beijing, appealing for their right to peacefully practice their belief.
Fairy floats, marching bands, and dragon dances. 4,000 Falun Gong practitioners gathered in Flushing on Sunday for a massive parade.
I'm so happy to see this parade.
Sorry, I feel lucky today, to run into this parade.
Falun Gong, also known as Falun Dafa, is a spiritual practice combining meditation and gentle exercise, and a focus on the principles of truthfulness, compassion, and forbearance. After its public introduction in 1992, it attracted tens of millions of practitioners in China within several years. But the communist regime began to see its emphasis on spirituality and free thought as a threat to its own power. The regime began assaulting and arresting Falun Gong practitioners in certain regions. On April 25, 1999, about 10,000 Falun Gong practitioners arrived in Zhongnanhai, the CCP's central headquarters in Beijing. In a peaceful manner, they appealed to China's authorities to allow them the freedom to practice and to stop the harassment.
There was a policeman standing next to me, so I went over and told him about our appeal. He exclaimed, "In all these years, I have never seen such peaceful petitioners as your group."
The Chinese Communist Party framed the petition as a siege of its headquarters and used it to justify the persecution campaign that followed soon after. For over 2 decades, countless Falun Gong practitioners have been imprisoned, tortured, and even murdered for their organs. But the practice of peaceful petitioning spread throughout China and the world, with practitioners raising awareness of the brutal human rights abuses still going on today.
The appeal on April 25th, 24 years ago, was a peaceful and rational petition that set a noble and moral monument for people to fight for freedom of faith and basic human rights.
And it's a day of courage. It's a day of unity. It's a day of inspiration that we're still here, and that with the courage, forbearance, and truthfulness, that everybody can stand together, and the worst has happened and the best is yet to come.
Onlookers said they were deeply impressed by this spirit.
Such a parade would be very educational for those Chinese who still defend the CCP after coming to the U.S. It's not easy. They have made the greatest sacrifice for the well-being of the Chinese people. We should stand firm in support of Falun Gong. Those efforts won't go in vain. This group of heroic men and women, the students of the noble and moral teacher Li Hongzhi, the founder of Falun Gong, in them I see the hope of humanity.
The event ended with a rally where human rights groups called for an end to the persecution in China. At the site, 20 Chinese announced their withdrawal from the Communist Party and its 2 affiliated groups. To date, over 400 million people have made similar statements at the Global Service Center for quitting the CCP. NTD News, New York.